Hello there, Aries. Welcome to your final reading of the year. This is for the month of December. As always, you can use it for your sun, your rising, and for your moon sign. By far, this is my favorite reading every year to do because not only is it a wrap-up for everything that we've been working on, but it also gives us a chance to kind of peek through and see what's coming in for 2019. This year, I'm going to do something special in January. A lot of times I tag on a 2019 portion to this, but I'd like to do a live feed in the first or second week of January. I'll post more as we get into the month of December so that you can plan ahead. And with that, I'm going to try to take a look at a general reading for all the energy of the year, and then I might pull a single card for each of the signs. This will give me a chance to not only sort of give you the experience of a live reading, but maybe even answer some questions at the end of it and see where that goes. So more information to come on the live feed for the coming year. But for today, let's focus on what's coming through for the month of December. Before I get into that, I'd just like to say thank you for all of my supporters on Patreon, as well as everyone that has been donating through my site. If you'd like to become a part of that group that makes videos like this possible, I'm going to put some information here at the bottom. Just know that a donation as little as $1 goes a long way. It allows me to buy new materials, and also more importantly, it just allows me to set aside the time to do these videos. For those of you that watch every month, you know how I organize this, and I'd like to just say welcome to you. For anybody that's brand new, I'd like to also extend a welcome and just give you a quick run through of my format. I'm going to start with a channeled message, which I'll talk about in a second. Then I looked at a Celtic cross for the month, and I expanded afterwards to explore areas of health, wealth, love, and destiny. For this channeled information, I select a deck of cards first, and before I get started, before I hit record, I meditate and I see what comes through. And for you, there were a couple of images that came into my head. The first was a candle being burnt at both ends, and the second one was a path, and I saw you pushing through a path. You had a destination, but you had to clear the area. And so as I was kind of decompressing these two messages, the candle portion was to focus on not overdoing things this month, because this could be the block or the impediment that would prevent you from achieving your goals or getting to that destination that I saw in my vision. The second piece is to not give up. Basically, every day, just chip away a little bit at your goal. And when you start to feel that sense of exhaustion, instead of putting it aside and thinking, I just don't want to do this, or it's taking too long, or it's not happening, think, okay, I'm going to allow myself one night to relax, to sort of observe what has been done, to realize that I'm getting closer every day to the goal, and to energize myself. Not to give up, but to energize. And I get the number 3 when I see this. So as a sort of a safety measure to make sure that you're not putting too much time into the rest as well, I would say like every week, just take a day off from whatever your goal is and relax. And then you're going to have maybe 3, max of 4 days a month. In this month in particular, where you can just sort of regroup and then get back to the tasks at hand. So I think that's going to be really important for you to achieve what you need to do. And with that candle burning at both ends, the other message there is to say no, to push back, to not allow yourself to get pulled into too many things, because I say this often, like our life in general, everything that we're doing, it's more akin to a long distance marathon than a sprint. If we sprint always, then we're going to run out of steam. And so this month, I want you to not sprint, to not sort of overdo it on a day-to-day basis. Take your time, prioritize, take a break when you need to, but then get back to whatever that goal is that you're trying to accomplish. That's what's going to pay off. That's what's going to make you successful. And that's the channeled message. Let's go ahead now, give the cards a good shuffle, and we'll see what's coming through. And just as I did that, I saw the 3 of Wands here on the bottom, which is also indicating that whatever you're trying to seek will happen. Also the number 3 again. Let's go ahead now, again, give the cards a shuffle. At this point, I like to remain quiet and just really observe what's coming through. Like you, I want to see the positions, the cards, and the information associated with each one. So let me go ahead and lay these cards out, and then we will regroup after that. In addition to the Celtic Cross, I use one more card. This is a catalyst. It helps us maximize positive areas, reduce any sort of blocks that might be existing. It also shows sort of a connective thread between everything here. So let's go ahead and see what your catalyst is, and then we'll talk about this card by card. Your catalyst this month is a little bit of a reality check and also a tip on how to be happier and to be more successful. For those of you that know about Pele, goddess of fire, volcanic sort of goddess, this is really about finding your true passion. Because just as you see there with this ability to destroy, to create, to reshape things, when you get in touch with your passion, there's really no boundaries for you. There's nothing that's going to be holding you back from achieving your heart's true desire. And so Pele this month is sort of encouraging you to check in with yourself and decide what makes sense to work on. What do you want to put your energy into? Is it love? Is it a creative endeavor? If you're not feeling inspired, is it because you have veered away from your true passion, your true path? This happens a lot in life. Sometimes we don't have a choice in the matter and we just sort of get pulled into something. This month, though, you have a chance to redirect. And that's the purpose for many of you, is to decide, okay, I don't maybe know how I got to this point, but I can change what I'm doing in the future so that I'm not stuck here. So I want you to find your inner passion. For some of you, this could be something that you could basically make a decision and overnight start to see changes. For some of you, this could be a longer term thing, maybe deciding to go back to school or deciding for some sort of a long-term opportunity that you want to explore. Don't be afraid to embrace this and explore it, knowing that when you do something you truly love, there's nothing that can stop you. The central card this month is the Two of Cups, which is showing that partnership is indeed a powerful and important part of your success. So I would say not only don't be afraid, but I encourage you to share your ideas, to talk to other people, to share the burden with others in your life, to allow them to be a pillar of support for you. It's a great time for getting either investments. If you're like, for those of you that might be trying to sell a business, sell a product, the Two of Cups can show that you're being able to express your ideas and have others buy into that. For those of you looking for love, of course, the Two of Cups is a card of friendship and partnership across the board. So people coming into your life and making it better, that's a central theme this month. Holding your own, sharing your ideas, being strong, important. Notice that we have a page, which is more about the delivery, and it's a softer sort of version of the king or the queen, which means you're going to listen. So tell someone what you think and allow them to weigh in on it, because your crowning card is showing this, sometimes this tendency for you to internalize too much or to overthink. What we see in the deep past, again, is that encouragement to not overdo it. Don't burn the candle at both ends. If you allow for yourself to be in a place of rest, of relaxation a few times a week, or at least 3 or 4 times in the month, I think you're going to be much better suited for the challenges that are ahead. I think that going into the beginning of this month, it's a really good time for new money endeavors, looking at your overall budget, starting a new job, especially if you're feeling that you don't have the desire or the passion. That's what this card was basically saying, is if you're not feeling it, then create something new or move on to something else, because whatever it is that you've already been through, it's kind of played its role and it's time for something new. Now, this is encouraging you to really take a look at embracing all of the positive aspects of whatever your life is at the moment, looking at the bright side of things, looking at the cup as being half full. It's also an encouragement for you to not to get sort of distracted by a small setback, or by sometimes your own emotional baggage that you might be bringing into this, being worried about something not working and then allowing that worry to sort of fester and become something bigger than it should. Know that your own enthusiasm, your own optimism, your own positivity is what is going to set the stage for the success, and it's also what's going to allow other people in your orbit to feel energized. If you're in a low frequency, then they sort of, again, think of a sun. It's almost like it's losing mass. You're not holding the group together. So I want you to, whatever your group dynamic is, whether it's a family, a coworker environment, or just a group of friends, your ability to stay in a positive energy space is what's going to keep it together. For many of you, this is a month of change, but it's controlled change, because the Tower in reverse is a decision that you make which is I'm going to step away from things that I don't feel either add stability, sort of a bountiful nature to my life, or just general happiness. For some of you, this is about coming to terms with being truthful with yourself, or allowing for other people in your life to finally be accountable for something. Sometimes people freak out when they see this card. I see it as a chance to release something that's holding you back. So that could be, like I said, a habit. It could be a secret. It could also just be a feeling of obligation without commitment or without your heart sort of being into it. So when we kind of connect Pele with the Ten of Swords, with the Devil, with the Tower, what I'm seeing this month is something is finally going to fall out of your life that you don't need anymore. And it's going to give you this bigger question. And the question is kind of where the excitement happens for you this month of what's next. And what a great month to let go of things, to kind of recycle, to remove, because you're going to set the tone for 2019 to be so much more enjoyable and hopefully more bountiful, more fruitful for you. And so the big opportunity this month is for you to do some soul searching. What is it you truly want to do in your life? Back when I was in grad school, I had a professor who, just as I had graduated, we had like one last meeting and said to me, "What do you want to do now?" And in that moment, I kind of panicked and I thought, why didn't this person ask me at the very beginning of my sort of schooling what I wanted to do, so I could have organized it better? I mean, it all worked out, but I'm asking you now so that as you look at 2019, you're not going to panic, and we're not talking about this next December. Set your priorities. Don't wait for the first. Start it now. This is the perfect time to sort of take stock in what's been working, what hasn't been working. And I think that the number one thing that you need to do is make some tough decisions. And some of them are going to involve, it could be quitting a job, moving to a new apartment, deciding that you want to try something different in your life. For those of you that might be in school, it could be deciding to change your major. For those of you that are retired, you may decide that wherever you decided to go, it isn't suiting you and you want to experience something new, or you want to travel a little bit, because there's a sense of letting go when I'm seeing all of these cards here. So don't be afraid to release something. Don't be afraid to try something new. This is a time for bold shifts in your life. The important thing is give yourself this full month, all whatever it is, 31 days in December, to make your decision. Don't rush into it. And once you've made the decision, feel this sense of, I gave it everything that I needed and I'm ready now to move forward because I explored all the options. And that's really what this is encouraging you to do. Sit down, think about everything, and what if? We do that as kids, but we don't always do it as an adult. I want you to take the chance to explore all options, to not get into your head and think, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't. Just put them on paper, think about them, dream about them a little bit. And then sometime before the end of the month, make your decisions so that as you kick off 2019, as it hits, as midnight happens on the 1st, you're ready to think, I'm a new person, I'm ready for new things. And spiritually and aurically, you're going to be clearing everything so that magnetically you can pull in all of the abundance that really wants to find its way to you next year. Now let's go ahead and expand your forecast, looking at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll begin with your health card. Reminder that, of course, that this is not just about your physical health, but it can also include mental and spiritual as well. The message this month is to take time to meditate. And I really think for many of you, this is what we were seeing with the Seven of Cups and also with the Four of Cups. The Seven of Cups, of course, reverse, which is decisiveness. The Four of Cups, which is consideration. The two of these together is just to meditate, to take in. And I want you to also to feel things through. Sometimes with with meditation, we get too much in our heads. And maybe next year I'll do more guided meditations. I know a lot of you like those because sometimes it helps to listen to others. So for you, maybe it will work this month because I'm looking at all of these cards showing some distraction in your mental process, to work with like singing bowls or having some sort of a meditation music, kirtan music, or a guided meditation. Maybe allow for either sounds or again, the voice of someone else to help you access that higher consciousness. But most importantly, just making time to have some quiet every day is going to be really helpful for your mind, body, and spirit. And that's really all this card is saying, is give yourself a chance to rest. Some of you have just been too hard on yourselves, either mentally or physically. And if it is a physical sort of thing, take care of yourself. This typically happens with back problems, lower back, also neck pain. So give yourself a treat. Get a massage this month, or get some acupuncture or Reiki treatment. Allow for a energetic healing. If you have any sort of chronic issues, work with your doctor, especially anything with the bones and muscle. It looks like it's focused more in neck, back, and then lower back. Let's go ahead now and take a look at your wealth card. Everything that I look at in the expanded forecast touches more than the category because it's all interconnected. So wealth isn't just money or career. It's also how you feel about yourself and how open you are to change. And that's the key thing this month. Are you ready for the changes coming through? And that's kind of the question that I want to ask as we look at wealth. So what can you do to be more prepared for the changes? So what we have here is in the flow. It says everything is smooth sailing. So it isn't always. We know that sometimes it feels bumpy or it feels a little crazy, and I definitely see that. But what this card is reminding you is that even in the sort of experience of unexpected or maybe fast changes, this is still in the flow of prosperity. And this card was reversed, so it's saying don't fight the flow. So for those of you that might be in a place where suddenly, if it's a physical sort of thing, like there's construction going on, this might actually be to improve your safety or your well-being. If it's restructuring, like at a workplace, what's coming in might be better than what's going out. And if you're losing a job, there might actually be a better opportunity in the future, or you've already learned everything you needed and it was time to get out. Sometimes when we see the Tower and the Devil event in our life, it's because we've waited too long and the universe is saying, I need you to get out now, and I know this is hard, but I'm pushing you. So for wealth this month, don't fight processes that are already going on around you. Try to see your way through the path, and that was what I was seeing at the beginning of the reading when I channeled it. So take care of yourself, rest, tune into your intuition, and then sort of navigate on a third eye level and see past what's in front of you, because that's the distraction. Looking now at love and relationships. This isn't just about romance, it's about universal love, the currency of the universe. How are you currently exchanging that? Are you feeling a deficit of love? Are you feeling an abundance of love? What's coming in when we're looking at love and relationships? That's the question as we look at love. Okay, and the answer is to remain hopeful, to remain open and optimistic. It says love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choosing loving thoughts. I think that's the important message here, is kindness to oneself. If you tried something in the past year and it didn't work out the way you wanted to, a relationship, a job, trying to improve yourself in any way, shape, or form, whether it's exercise, education, or work opportunity, or just self-confidence, I want you to see the setback or see whatever didn't happen as just a lesson that you went through and not defining you as a whole. Because if you live in the experience of what didn't happen, you're closing off what can happen. So feel what you need to feel, go through those emotions, and then take a deep breath and think enough. Sometimes I mention this and I just rewatched it because it's a feel-good movie. But if you ever watch Love Actually, there's a guy that's stuck on a girl in the movie, and he's in The Walking Dead. But anyway, he expresses his thoughts to her, which was a catharsis. And then at the end, he's like, enough now, let's move on, so that he could feel new love, so that he could experience new things in his life. And that image came into my head. And I want you now to feel a sense of hope of what can happen next, not despair, anger, or frustration of what didn't happen. Makes sense? Because it's the hope, it's that fire, that spark, like the little candles in the background there, that will attract new things in your life. One more thing I want to add before we move on is because I'm seeing the Devil in the environment, and also the Two of Cups in the center, and then connecting the 10 and the Tower to that as well. for many of you this month could show a breakdown of a relationship because, again, I talked about secrets or things coming to sort of a front here where you have to deal with them. So many times this can involve a third party. The third party could be agitating things. It could be, for some of you, an affair, or it could be a litigator. But for some of you, there's someone coming in and pushing the two of you apart. But when I look at the message here of hope, there is hope for reconciliation, and it's really encouraging you to walk the path of love and light, not to allow yourself to get into an exchange of negative words or negative thoughts, which is what the Ten of Swords can be, an argument. So either walk away from the argument or make a decision that you're going to try to resolve it or just move on. And I think, again, that message of love and hope for something better is what's going to be key. I just wanted to highlight that because, yes, some of you might be dealing with a breakup or an estrangement this month, but that's going to lead to better things because it needed to come to the light. Let's look now at your destiny card. Now, destiny, it sounds confusing. It's not about being set in stone. It's about what you're putting in place for your own destiny, which means it's malleable. You can move it, you can shift it. If you like where you're headed, stick with it. If you don't, let's see what the message is, and perhaps I can help you adjust. Your message on destiny this month is a door to spirit. And what this is saying is that you have your own sort of divine ability to create, to connect. You're already more in the flow than you know. And I want you to own your power. That's what this card is encouraging you to do. And as we enter January, Janus, the god of two sides, of two faces, of two doors, what you're going to do is open a new door. Like the old expression, when one door closes, another opens. That's kind of the theme for your whole month. Whatever you've done, whether it was great success, met with great success, or met with some sort of a missed opportunity or frustration or didn't quite happen the way you wanted, celebrate that, understand that, experience it, and now think, all right, 2019, here I come, on to sort of bigger and better. And it doesn't matter if you were already at a good place. I want you to have more abundance. If you were in a lower place, let's absolutely get you back to feeling more in the flow of prosperity. And that's really what this is all about. That's the overarching message. Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about, and then we'll wrap up for the month. As I said, it's important this month to stay committed. Don't let small things take you off your path. But more importantly, don't beat yourself up or don't work so hard that you lose perspective for why you're getting into something in the first place. Your passion is going to be the key that keeps you energized throughout the month. As we look at all the cards here, as I said, relationships this month are going to be key to the success. Lean on others, ask for help, share your ideas. From this exchange, you might actually have new opportunities come into your life. From your own passion, other people are going to get excited, and you're going to shift out of some of this lower frequency stuff into positive frequencies. And what happens then is you have to make some decisions about the future. Again, for most of you this month, I see new opportunities coming through. It's just a question of, are you ready? Do you want it? And also, why are you holding on to some of the things from the past? I think that many of you are in a place where it's time to let go of any sort of painful or even for some of you, it might even be unproductive habits or sequences in your life. And as we expand your forecast, looking first at health, it's really just important to spend some time thinking. I think a lot of you might have gotten too caught up in the motion of day-to-day life, of all of the activities, not giving yourself that chance to just think things through. And once you do that, you open the door to more prosperity, to more opportunities in your life. And we saw that right here. It's already around the corner. Then you're going to be able to open up to new relationships. And if you're open to the possibilities here, both in friendships and in partnerships, new things break through. Again, this isn't necessarily easy because you're going to have to make some decisions on this, but I think it's a very positive movement for those of you that might have been feeling a sense of being blocked in relationships in the past. Self-love is important. If you're not happy with who you are, that's the thing that really has to be broken through, I should say, this month, so that you can start to love yourself and other people can love you because they see that self-love. When we're looking at wealth, again, knowing that what's coming through, whether it's difficult or something that you want to celebrate, it's all for the best. So health, wealth, love, all of these things are connected. And really, it's about opening a new door to the future, something that is more exciting and is an upgrade that is bringing you to a step above where you are right now. So overall, a really great month for you. A little bit of, for you, I would say, decision making that's going to happen around the middle of the month. Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? Is it time for a new job? Is it time to move? There are some big questions, some big opportunities that are coming through. Also, a chance for healing for many of you. Take care of yourself and spend that time meditating, thinking, what is it I truly want to do on this planet? Why did I come here? And what can I do to get excited about making a difference, not just in my life, in my job, but also in this world as a whole? That's why we're all here every month. That's why I come through each month, is to hopefully help you break down these barriers and to be as successful as possible in all aspects of life. So that's your message for the month of December. I hope it gave you what you needed to navigate the challenges this month. Don't rush through things. Take time, think through things. And by the end of the month, I feel like you're going to be in a much better place. If you have some big decisions, if you want to talk about whatever your tower or devil event might be in your life, feel free to reach out to me. I do have availability this month. I also have a lot in January, and I have some specials for a 2019 reading, so you can check out my website for information. The first link below the video will allow you to do that. You can look at rates and availability. If you want to give back, as I said earlier, even as little as $1, joining me on Patreon or doing a one-time donation through my website, that helps me set aside the time. I have to see clients, and I work just like you, but the more donations I get, the more I can do live feeds and spend more time in these videos, which is what I want to do. The third link is a way to connect on all social media networks. So if you haven't already liked and subscribed to this channel, like this video, subscribe to the channel, I encourage you to do that. That's the best way to stay involved. Click that little bell icon as well so you don't miss a notification of new videos or live events. And feel free to join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or my newsletter. That third link will help you connect to all of the above. Finally, each and every month, I like to remind us why we're here on a sort of bigger purpose. For you, it's this month to really reconnect with your heart, and I would even say your second chakra, so fourth and second chakras. The second chakra being where we experience that creativity, that flow, that passion. Don't deny that this month, because for some of you, you've either maybe been underutilizing that area or not realizing the power that you can harness with that. Love who you are. Don't beat yourself up. Love what you do and share that love. Allow that love to be an attractive force, which brings in relationships, money, opportunity, and abundance in all forms. By doing this, you will shine brighter. And every month, I really think that's the purpose, is for all of us to illuminate this planet with a sense of hope. And that was also one of these messages. So be a beacon for someone in your life who needs it. And most importantly, be a beacon for yourself. Wishing you love and light now and always. Thanks for allowing me to be a part of your spiritual journey. I'll see you again in January. And in the meantime, have a wonderful holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. From my heart to yours, take care.